Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Passively Offside. My name is Taylor. I don't know where it is, but I'm jamming in my head.
Yeah. I think we know where it is, kind of.
You know where it is. You're watching the video.
I know, but I'm not so good at reading. Yeah, I can. No.
All right, that's enough of that.
That's enough of that.
Okay. Welcome to Passively Offside. My name is Taylor. In the studio, as always, is Nephi Splenda and Brandon. You will notice that Boris is not with us this evening. That's because he is on a business trip. We hope that he is not dead. I haven't heard from him for like an hour or so.
We should have done.
Is he in Africa finding more blood diamonds?
We should have done that. Well, he couldn't call in because he was working. He was busy.
Yeah. I thought about it, but he's busy.
Yeah,
right now.
Is he not?
I tried to talk to him.
He's
but
a liar then.
He's the worst.
Oh well.
It happens.
Yeah. Tonight on Passively Offside, Supporter Shield update. Playoff teams are set, but what place do they fall? And CCL spots are almost set as well. This and more. I'm doing that now.
Wow.
I'm doing that now.
Are we gonna have like a segue, like a little commercial?
No, I'm just saying that I'm doing that now.
We need graphics
just now.
Yeah, in a second.
Okay.
Stay tuned right now.
Wow. Stay tuned.
I wanted to
now.
try it.
Okay.
I don't know.
It'd be great if we had a commercial.
Yeah.
It sounds. Hey, dude, it sounded great, but we need a commercial between that.
We could record that before the show and release it like an hour before.
We need Rob
we
to
need
do our
Rob.
voiceover.
We need to call Rob and just have him do it.
Get our voiceover. He said he'd do it, so we'll figure it out.
All right. Let's go to of the weeks and our scores. Splenda is going to take that. I saw him put his phone down, so I'm going to give him my thing there. Go ahead and do our of the weeks and scores.
Thanks, Taylor. This
Back to you.
Back to the studio. Goal of the week this week. Lee Win.
Zoom in on him when he's doing this part, so he can say back to you.
Not here. Okay, Lee Win. Had a couple good goals. This one fakes out the guys, fakes out the defenders, and the guys. Yes,
I like the guys.
I'm still new at this.
Such technical terms.
But I wanted to give a little honorable mention to Warren Craval. Did you guys see that goal?
Houston?
No, TFC.
Craval?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember.
Ball deflects, goes way high in the air. He watches it, watches it.
That game.
First touch,
right.
Just off the volley, scores.
The best thing about that is he's like, it wasn't even power. It was just like, boom,
just deflects it.
Doesn't even hit the ground.
You know what?
The best.
He was playing full golf with him. He's like, there's my hole. Hole in one.
Hole in one. Save of the week. Hashtag Homer status. Nick Raimondo for both.
We're doing both.
Yes.
It was a flurry of saves.
He is the
both of them that are on MLSsoccer.com. Just
he has two up there, and I hope it goes like 50-50 for both, but I don't think that's going to happen now. To our scores.
I think these are updated.
We'll go with it. Yeah. I'm sitting down at the bottom with 105 out of 278. Taylor's at 109 out of 278. And then Nephi and Boris are up there. Nephi 112, Boris 119, but we don't care about them. It's just me and Taylor. That's who we care about.
Wow.
Hey,
why would you care about
status.
you two when you guys pick the same ones together in your little meetings?
Conference calls.
Oh yeah,
our conference
I understand that, but
you should stop
conference
telling
call.
you what you're picking. You really should.
Why?
No. We're in this
No, we're in this together.
Yeah.
He calls me and we do it.
Yeah.
So in other words, Splendid is planning on losing the season.
Hey,
we're gonna beat Nephi.
I can't make it up. It's cool, man.
It was.
You can make up the 4 that you're behind.
You
on
can't
him.
beat me.
Why would I do that to him? That would just be mean.
Taylor, you can't beat me. Did
Oh,
you
sorry.
see the fact that we picked almost every single?
No, I know.
Okay.
I know.
Yeah. It's fine.
I'm just saying.
It's a strategy. It may not work, but it's a strategy.
Okay.
Back to you, Taylor.
On to the news. I only have
Yes.
one real piece of news because I didn't really care to think of more, but I wanted to talk about the Montreal and Toronto game a little bit because it may have been one of the chippiest games I have seen all season. It also came with my favorite yellow card ever from Joe Bendick. Let's just pick you up and move you off the field, and while you're writhing around pain because your ankle's snapped in half. Oh, but look, you're okay.
Yep. As soon as he touches
Best
right outside the
yellow
line,
ever.
Best yellow ever.
right outside the line, he's fine.
Yeah.
I think we should look at the ground outside the touchline at
For magical.
at BMO Field. It could
The
probably
ground
hold,
is lava. Everyone knows it.
it could probably hold the cure for Ebola.
Ooh.
Are you listening, U.S. government?
3 red cards were
Yeah, they
shown
are.
during that game. 2 red cards were straight red. So,
And yeah,
that was a
Sorry,
game.
that's just hilarious to me.
That was a fight to the death.
that's a good way to put it.
Good way to put it.
Yeah, because they're both.
For the news, so remember to join us on Facebook at facebook.com/passthroughthefside, on Twitter at @passthroughth_off, email at passthroughthefside@gmail.com. We may read your comments on air. Let's get to our discussion, boys.
Yeah.
We got quite a bit to talk about today. One team has finished their season. That is real. The team that they played have another team.
Game.
All I picture is Dan Kennedy going to the unemployment line in Los Angeles, having to provide proof that he's applied to places and everything.
Dan Kennedy's good.
I hope.
No, he'll get picked up. Like jokes aside, he'll get picked up.
Oh, yeah.
He will.
I hope that during the after game press conferences, at one point, the front office people just start going around handing out pink slips. Which I don't know. Are they really pink?
No, they're not.
Oh, I wish they were. That'd be great.
They should be.
They should be, because then you'd know.
I've never heard of anyone actually getting a pink slip when they're fired.
I don't know.
I would do it if I had a business.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
I would do
because?
it. Just
Yeah.
a pink
Yeah.
piece of paper. It's like,
Yeah.
you're out of here. See you, buddy.
Here's
CFO.
Here's
Get
a
outta
memento
here.
of this occasion.
You're
Here's your pink
gone,
slip.
bud.
Slip.
Get out.
All right, let's talk supporter shield. The current update is LA and Seattle drew in LA, which is bad for LA because Seattle is still ahead in games 1. The game on Saturday afternoon,
12:30 on
12:30,
NBC. Not
NBC.
NBCSN. Full-blown NBC.
full-blown NBC.
This has huge implications. So they're
Yeah.
going real deal.
So the ways that this can play out. LA must-win situation.
Mhm.
Seattle can play for a draw.
Yeah.
They won't.
They won't.
No.
No.
They could.
It's not the Seattle way.
They're going home in front of all the fans at CenturyLink with a chance to pick up hardware right then after the game.
I think this will be
True.
the first time they've actually had that opportunity.
Doesn't
For
Seattle only
support
play
shield.
to win big and or lose big?
I think so.
Keep in mind that they did just lose at home not too long ago
That's
to a
not
team
the
that
one,
they
though.
really should not have lost. to.
Biggest factor, Omar.
Mm-hmm. The OG.
That's the next thing I was going to bring up.
Mhm.
If you watched that game, you might know that Omar's not going to play on Saturday. That's going to hurt LA.
That's very,
Sorry, the tone up.
very eloquent.
I don't really care.
Do you work for NPR?
I don't like either of these teams. I don't want either of
You
them.
can't.
to win.
You can't watch Seattle and say you don't like the way they play.
No. Let me rephrase that because I think you have forgotten one thing about me. I am actually a Seattle fan. I do like the Sounders. I am a Seattle fan. I'm also a Portland fan, which doesn't make any logical sense, but I am. But I don't want Seattle to win because I don't want them to get in trouble because I don't live there yet.
Yeah.
That's mighty selfish of you.
Well, come on, man.
You only win it when I am there.
I gotta be hashtag Homer status. Yeah, I'm just gonna break you tonight with this stuff.
Rip in peace, Brandon.
All right, how does Saturday play out, Brandon?
Saturday plays out, in my opinion, with a 3-1 victory for Seattle.
Wow, impressive. Okay.
I think Obafemi Martins and Dempsey both get a goal. Third goal assisted by Yedlin. I don't know who scores it.
Andy Rose.
Andy Rose.
No, the Make-A-Wish kid comes back.
This time he actually finishes his shot.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
You know what? I remember. I just want to go back to that discussion we had right
Throwback
after that
Thursday.
happened. Throwback Thursday.
Why would you not try to score?
What if he had, though? That is my biggest question because it was a friendly game. The defense moved off to the side, let him dribble all the way down. He kicked it right at the keeper, who asked him to kick it right at his chest. It's like, give it to me, please.
Come on.
What if
Come
he
on.
had scored?
If
Would
you-
they have
Pro
counted the goal?
contract, Liverpool
Would-
signs him immediately.
Would they have counted the goal?
Yes.
I
Yes,
hope so.
absolutely.
It's
During game time.
Yeah.
It was during game time, and he was a player on the roster
Under
for that game.
contract, yeah.
Absolutely,
Would Seattle have given up a point just to make things a little even?
probably.
Yeah.
But
But whatever.
But
someone
I-
signs him. A championship team signs him immediately.
I think they should have let him score.
That would have been great.
They didn't stop him from scoring. He stopped himself.
Yeah,
He had the opportunity to shoot wherever he wanted, just because you had the keeper looking at you going, right here, please.
Come
Are
on.
you going to do that if it's a real game and you're playing in a competitive game? Absolutely not. He had every chance to score.
I think the bigger thing about that,
and he even said so. He wishes he would have shot for the
we
opposite
really
side.
need to get off this topic in a second here, but I think it was probably for the best that he didn't. But dang, I wish he had.
I wish he had too.
I would have run into the goal and gotten the ball.
All the Make-A-Wish kids that get to play football score a touchdown.
Baby thing.
All right, let's get back to present day. So again, Saturday. This is a big game for both teams. What's the game plan going in if you're LA?
If you're LA, you've got to. You hope that. I think it really comes down to Robbie Rogers, and the reason for that is if he plays up high and allows Donovan to float, that pins Yedlin. And if Yedlin's pinned back, that's another width player. That's another attacking piece that Seattle won't be using. If you saw the first half, that's kind of what it was. Yedlin was pinned back. I wouldn't say LA was dominating anyway, but Seattle wasn't getting the ball.
They did go up too.
Yeah, but Seattle wasn't getting the ball like they normally do.
Well, I think to that point, if Robbie Rogers pushes up, I think Yedlin could get a little, I don't know if you want to say full of himself, but a little more confidence because Omar Gonzalez is not back there patrolling that back line.
That is a very good point.
That could open up that side for a quick giveaway in the midfield. Yedlin makes a streaking run,
which Yedlin is known to do.
Fast as heck, and he can do that, opening up options up there.
Yeah, he's very fast.
So good.
Really, I'm just hoping for open play, just open scoring, and I hope it's like 6-5.
Yep.
It's like the NBA All-Star game.
What LA needs to focus on, I think, is taking the Seattle crowd out of the game.
Agreed.
Because if the Emerald City supporters manage to, be in full voice, Seattle's not an easy team to stop when they're confident.
Nope.
Well, that's what you saw second half.
They've got the 12th man.
Yeah, absolutely. That entire city's behind them.
Exactly. And that's LA needs to score early.
Yeah,
absolutely. They need to score early, and they need.
Keep going.
No, you got this. I think we have the same.
You had the same thought.
You go, and then I'll see if I got it.
Okay. LA needs to score early, and then they need to play counterattacking football after that. Honestly, I think they need to be able to hold them back because Seattle's prone to giveaways in the final third.
LA is fairly that's kind of their thing though, the counterattacks.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would normally agree with you, especially with LA, except that Omar is out, and so if you're playing counterattack, that means you're giving Obafemi and Clint the ball, more time on the ball, and on a one-on-one situation without Omar, not going to be your best thing.
That's fair.
That's fair. Well, again, that game is tomorrow.
Nope.
Saturday. I thought it
2
was
days.
Friday.
Nope, it's Thursday.
It's Thursday. We're doing our show, so it's Thursday.
I can do this.
Keep it together. Keep it together.
I have to work again tomorrow, which I normally don't. So that's why it's messing with my head. Yes, sorry. Game is Saturday. Also, taking a second to plug something that has nothing to do with soccer at all. Saturday is also the Extra Life event. If you don't know anything about Extra Life, go to its extra-life.org. Other websites are weird. I don't know. I accidentally did com and net once. I'm dumb. Extra-life.org. Go check it out. Stuff to do with Children's Miracle Network. It's a great cause. For gamers by gamers. We're all doing it.
Help us save some children.
Seriously, that's all I wanted to say. Just as we're talking about Saturday,
we can tweet out a link.
Yeah. We'll be talking about that on Saturday as well. We'll probably tweet a bunch. There are games on Saturday we'll be watching at the same time as well. So Saturday is going to be a fun day. But again, if you're a gamer in any way, check out extra-life.org. Moving on, MVP race. This is going to be one of my favorite topics, and I hope I can keep you guys contained because we don't have all night.
Don't. Brandon, what do you got?
Here's my hold on.
Get out of the way.
Hold on. I don't want to know who you got because we already did that.
Well, that's fine.
Currently, number 1 and number 2, Keen and Obi. Is this and this is a big question that I really need to ask. Is this just the MLS playing favorites with Seattle and LA like we have seen for quite a long time?
No.
Quite a long time.
No.
Quite a long time.
If you really look at their scoring and assist records, they should be in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Conversation.
But
that's
they're
my
not
question.
the only two candidates.
They're not the only two
Yeah,
candidates.
they're the only two candidates MLS seems to talk about.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's an arm there.
Yeah, and I think the biggest reason is towards the end. Well, mid-season, it was those two. There was Bradley Wright Phillips. The reason he's not being talked about anymore, he is on a little bit of a slump.
He is.
Mhm.
We haven't heard his name
He
in a while.
would have
Yeah.
been a big contender if he would have broke the record, but he's not going to. And then Lee Win,
All he does is win.
all he does is win.
Winning.
MV Lee.
But
Winning.
at the same time, though, again, he doesn't have the goals that those two have. And
But is it all about how many goals, or is it all about?
I said this a couple podcasts ago. There's lies, dang lies, and statistics. You can,
Are you your dad right now?
yeah.
That's
This
something
is
your dad would say.
this is. I'm channeling my father.
Okay, I'm scared.
There's lies, dang lies, and statistics. Yes, there are guys that will put in a crazy amount of goals. Yes, there are guys that will put in a crazy amount of assists, but it's most valuable player, and they have other awards for statistical leaders. It's whoever is most valuable to their team and impacts their team the most when they're not there, in my mind.
let me ask you this: is it the
Yes.
most valuable player for the team or the league?
That's a good question.
is
That is a
a
very
really
good
Because
question.
if you actually go most valuable player for the league, that's going to be the person who gives the league the biggest lie, which is always goal scorers.
But I also don't see Keane being that person.
But if it's going to be the number one goal scorer, then they just need to lump Golden Boot and MVP together and not give out a Golden Boot. Just give it to the number one goal scorer then.
Well,
That's
both,
why they
both of those points are very, very valid.
I honestly agree that it should be the most valuable player for the team.
You're kind of just going off what
I'm
you think
just
MLS is
going
doing.
just off of. I mean, come on, what's the talking point? These guys have a lot of goals. Let's talk about all this. Lee Win carries his team.
He patrols the midfield and
Well-
just changes the scope of that game
Yeah.
so much. I
By
mean,
that logic, who was MVP last year? Anyone remember?
Yes, it was Mike McGee.
Exactly. Because what did McGee do last
He
year?
carried
He
Chicago on their back
carried Chicago.
Jumped in
by
one day, right?
scoring
He
goals.
did.
Yes.
Mike McGee carried him by scoring a
Okay.
crap ton of goals.
Was who won Golden Boot?
Hold on.
Remember?
How can you carry a team if your team doesn't make the playoffs?
He
No. I'm not saying who the best player on one individual
He
team
just
is.
didn't carry him very
Because
far.
if you
That's
look at
all.
Jermaine Defoe with Toronto, they didn't make the playoffs. Is he in the conversation?
He's been
He
injured.
fell-
half the season.
He
It doesn't
fell
matter,
off
even if he
that
wasn't.
scope in July.
Yeah.
Even if he
isn't.
wasn't.
No, I understand
Michael
what you're
Bradley's there
saying.
too.
I understand what you're saying.
You
yeah.
can't have
Yeah, but
the
Bradley
league's
hasn't been doing too
MVP
much.
cannot be a player on a team that doesn't make the playoffs.
I agree.
Cannot.
Okay.
And that's-
Absolutely can't.
And that's what I
Wins
think
because
that makes the
MVP
league
is
weak.
determined on Saturday. If either Obi Fenneman or Keane have an absolute amazing game Saturday, whoever does that is going to get it. If both of them play like they did this last game, Win could easily get it
Mhm.
if they win.
That brings up my next
All I do is
question.
hashtag win.
I'm glad you brought that up because my next question comes down to LA and Seattle playing on Saturday. Does the winner of LA and Seattle there's a lot that goes into this. Does the winner of LA versus Seattle also have the MVP on their team at that point?
Yes.
Probably.
Okay, that's what I thought you said.
Especially, I agree with Nephi, especially if they make a big enough difference in the game with goals or assists
Okay.
that they can be like, you know what? He put in 2 goals in that Supporter Shield final.
Can we not give Keane MVP if he ever does that goal celebration again?
Dramatic Keane?
Dramatic Keene?
I think he needs to do it for every goal.
I don't like it.
Oh, it was great.
I would rather him do the swan.
The dead fish.
The dead fish.
Oh, man.
All right. Playoff teams are just about set. There is one game left for all teams except for Real Salt Lake, and there is only one battle remaining for playoff spots, and that would be Portland and Vancouver. The entire East is set.
No,
Yes.
not as in position wise.
Correct.
No, I'm
He's-
talking. I'm
he's
just
saying
talking
getting
playoffs.
Teams
into
that
the
are in.
playoffs.
Okay.
That's
Yes, yes.
Well,
the
that's
next
why I went
topic.
like this when you
Yes.
were like, they're set. I'm like,
That's
Sort
the
of.
next
sort
part of this. Nephi.
Okay.
Let me do this.
Let him produce.
I was just answering your question.
No, but I want to talk about.
Well, just.
Do you have something to share with the class?
Yeah, I want to talk about CCL later.
Okay.
That sucks.
We might have time. Maybe we'll see where we're at.
Big news happened. Jeez.
Okay, I get that, but let's talk about what I brought up.
Okay.
Fine, let's do that.
Let's go.
So again, playoff teams are all set. Position is still an option here.
Okay.
There's a lot of positioning to be done, but there's one big battle left.
Yes.
And Real Salt Lake didn't overly help with that battle because they didn't beat Vancouver.
Or Chivas.
Well,
The previous game.
Beating Chivas wouldn't have helped either Vancouver or Portland, though. What I'm saying is
Oh, okay.
we didn't help Portland or Vancouver, and I said we. Hashtag Homer Stats. We already did hashtag Homer Stats. I don't care. Real Salt Lake did not do anyone any favors, Portland or Vancouver, by not beating either of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the biggest question comes down to here, and this brings a lot into our next topic, so we won't get too deep into it, but this brings in Portland's next game. Who we talked about the safer bet. You said Vancouver's the safer bet. Do you still feel like Vancouver's the safer bet, knowing the teams that they're playing?
Absolutely.
Okay. How do you see this whole thing playing out? Because I believe Portland plays first.
Who does Portland have one more time?
Dallas.
Dallas
In
in
In Dallas.
Dallas is playing for not having to play in that playoffs.
Correct.
Play-in spot. Portland's playing for their lives. Dallas is a better team. They both have something to play for right now. If this were a game where Dallas were locked into third and that was just the end of it, I would give it to Portland.
Pull back and
But
see what happens.
but they're not. Like they're playing to not have to play in the play-in game. I'm giving that game to Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't see San Jose beating Vancouver if I remember correctly. That's what they're doing.
Vancouver is Colorado.
Colorado.
At home.
Oh, they're going to crush
Vancouver.
Colorado. With the
Vancouver's going to the playoffs.
with all the controversy going on there, and
I can pretty
People
sure
pretty
say
much-
that Vancouver's going to the playoffs and Portland's not, but Portland's going to fight for it.
Yeah.
oh yeah, it'll be a great game.
Mhm.
I just don't think Portland pulls it out.
I wish Portland and Vancouver were playing for this game.
Ooh.
That'd be wonderful.
I really wish that was
If
happening.
there was any justice in this world, they would be.
Because Vancouver basically has a bye this week. They have three
You
points.
Can't necessarily say that because we.
Colorado.
But look at what happened when they were at home against LA. Remember that? It was like what, 4-3?
They were
jumped
close.
out to an early
They were
lead,
close.
and then LA fought back. It was a strong showing. That's all I'm going to say.
I will concede the point that the game hasn't happened yet, and I can't say 100%, but with the way Colorado's been playing lately, I have to say that this is going to be a good gimme for Vancouver.
I agree.
I want
Again,
to see a 4-0 win by Colorado just to prove you guys wrong.
I would love that.
Oh, yeah.
I would love that. I'd
Great.
rather see Portland in the playoffs.
Honestly, me too.
Mhm.
But I just don't think it's the right choice.
No,
No.
not a safe bet for us.
Okay. So that was supposed to bring us into.
That brings us to the next topic
Okay.
about Real Salt Lake playing last night.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Played Chivas for the third time last night. First time Real Salt Lake won against Chivas this year.
Correct.
And in my
That's an
opinion,
embarrassing
barely
stat.
won last night.
2-0.
But one was a PK, which you admit are not real goals.
I am the first to admit that a PK is not a real goal, and I haven't gone back yet, but I don't know if that was a legitimate foul.
Oh, he put his hands on him, and Sabarillo just kind of was like, oops, and fell over.
So it's exactly what we expect from Sabo.
But Donnie said it great. If you put hands on someone in the box, expect a PK.
Yeah. No,
That's
he's
fair.
right.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
I mean, a defender
Mhm.
should know that as much as we all hate diving, you do this, he's a dead fish now.
Oh shoot! Oh gosh!
Don't,
Oh,
Brandon.
I got. Oh, thought I had to run the podcast now.
But
Okay.
and
Oh,
then
no, my ankle.
the
Oh.
second goal didn't come till they went down 10 men. And then still it was a
I'm
little
gonna carry you off. Sorry,
iffy.
he hates us now.
For what?
It's definitely an iffy penalty, but
Mhm.
Donnie did say it right. A penalty's a penalty, and
My favorite part was the red card.
Oh yeah,
I need to go back and watch that again too.
Oh no, he got it for
kicking the
Kicking
ball
the
at
ball
the
is
assistant
line,
red.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And you
Who was that? I'm sorry.
Chavez. I think that was his name. I don't remember. I watched it this morning really early and I forgot. But it was a legitimate red card.
If you're gonna,
don't do
it's
that.
not even about
can't.
the intention at that point, because the problem is you kicked the ball in the general direction of the line
he hit him.
judge,
He hit him.
Mhm. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
If it hadn't hit him, red card.
Yellow.
Probably a yellow.
Probably,
That's what I actually thought he was going to give out, because he initially, the ref walked away, and then
The line judge complained.
no. It looked to me more the RSL players were complaining, and then he
I
did
thought
this,
it was going to be a yellow for delay.
and then that's actually kind of what I
That's what
thought.
he said.
Yep.
And then he was going, and I'm looking, and I'm like, no, he's going for his
I saw it. Yeah.
pocket. And then boom, I'm like,
For what?
Yes.
well, I knew for what.
Well, but you have that
Mhm.
second of like,
Why?
for what, and then you realize what just happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
You just can't do that. Not cool, man. It's
Well,
not
that's
cool.
how he ended his season.
Not okay, bro.
That is true. Yeah.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have another
He doesn't have
game.
another game. One player fired.
He got his pink slip in the locker room after that game.
His
That
pink
would've
slip
been
was a dark
funny.
shade of red.
If the ref would have went pink slip.
Yeah, that's what they need to be now. You get your second yellow. That's a red. Pulls out the red card. Nope. Pulls out a pink slip and just hands it to him. Goes, "You're out of here, bud.
Just get out of here.
Turn in your boots and your badge. Get out of here.
Turn in your badge.
You're off the case, Bobrovsky."
Well, let me ask you guys this question: the way RSL's last couple of games, are you worried about them in the playoffs?
Oh yeah.
I don't think so.
You know,
Yeah.
They'll
No.
perform well.
They'll perform well.
I don't know if they'll win it, but
RSL.
I don't think they'll win the cup, but
In
No.
RSL's defense, they are actually a fairly decent playoff team, which is not
They
something
are.
we say often.
okay.
correct.
So, but I think we're all in agreement right now. We're going to be fourth.
Probably.
Most likely.
So
well,
then-
I think we have Portland winning.
yeah,
we
I
do
think
have
we want
we
Portland.
all have because we want Portland.
Hashtag
winning.
Homer said
But
it. We want
let's
Portland
be
to win.
honest. I think we all just the easier road is for
A home and away series instead of a one-game
well, it's
playoff.
for Vancouver to win, and we all pretty much both think.
Well, it doesn't matter if Vancouver wins.
So let's say Vancouver wins.
It's
They're
a
the
new
fifth
rival.
place team. Then we play Vancouver.
in a one-game playoff
One game
Would it
playoff
be
at home.
at home
It's
because
at
the
home.
higher
It
seed.
is at
Does
home.
not go below fourth.
so we will have the home game in the play-in
Yep.
if we have to DP.
next
And what was
Thursday.
the result of the last time RSL played Vancouver?
Wasn't it a tie? It got really chippy.
It was a tie.
Yeah,
because
and
we tied them and Portland.
And Carl Robinson was like, "It's a new rivalry." Saying it right now.
Yep.
Called it out right then.
Sure, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't really care about.
I've never thought of
at
Vancouver
all.
as a rival.
No.
Well, apparently it emerged this season.
No, apparently.
Yeah,
No.
apparently.
No, I don't care enough.
I
about
always thought of them as
Vancouver
just
for that.
another team
Yeah.
with the weirdest supporter group in the country.
So with that being said, so we play Vancouver for a 1-game series. Then we have to play Dallas in a 2-game.
Correct.
No,
Dallas.
then we have to play
number
Oh,
one
no,
LA
team,
or
number one
Seattle,
team.
depending on who wins.
If it's Seattle, do we win?
yes, Seattle has a tendency of failing miserably here.
He has a very good point. Seattle is
Seattle.
not a good
Oh.
playoff team,
Oh.
but Seattle this year
Yeah.
is probably the
This
strongest.
Seattle, though.
Well, we've
This is
had
the
this
strongest
conversation.
Seattle year I've ever seen.
We've had this conversation before, not on the show though,
Yeah.
about how great Seattle is until they hit the playoffs, and every time we're like, "Oh man, this is the best Seattle team ever," and then they just fall apart
But
again.
this is the best Seattle team ever,
But
man.
they haven't fallen apart.
They're 1/3 of the way there.
They
for the
did have
treble.
a minor slump.
They had a minor slump. They
I'm
came
saying
back.
that they traditionally fall apart in the playoffs. I'm
In the
not saying
playoffs? Okay.
Yeah. I'm not talking about in season. They always have solid seasons. They
Yeah.
they generally always have great seasons. It's in the playoffs where they fall apart though. I mean, they come here, they go to LA, they always get stuck playing one of their two boogie teams, and then they get knocked out.
I would actually be interested. I'm sorry to stop you for a
Go
second,
ahead.
but I'm very, very interested to see RSL and Seattle play each other because the entire season, the home team has won.
Yep.
Well, and I was going to ask you this. So, do you guys then all favor Seattle over LA?
In the playoffs?
I'd be
In the
interested to
playoffs.
see.
Nope.
Oh, Seattle over LA in the playoffs. I don't know.
I don't favor Seattle over anybody in the playoffs except for maybe Vancouver, but they won't have to play Vancouver.
So, would you rather see us play LA?
I'd
Well,
rather
they
see
may
us-
have to play Vancouver.
I'd rather
Yeah.
I'd rather see
Personally.
RSL playing Seattle,
Mhm.
honestly.
I think it'd be.
'Cause I think we win.
I think it'd be a more fun
Damn it.
game.
It's cool. He already did it. So
we.
Yeah.
I know.
You said we a minute ago anyway. Who
It
cares?
happens.
I'm over it.
Anyways, well, the only reason I asked because who did we play last year in the playoffs before we got into the champions?
LA. We knocked out
Oh,
LA.
We did knock out like
Conference champions.
who did we knock out the year before? Anyone remember? Oh, it was LA.
I was gonna say, can I take a guess and say LA?
The year before?
No, it was Seattle, bro.
2011.
Wasn't it? We
2012.
2012, LA won.
Yeah.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they won.
We beat Seattle.
yeah,
That's
we knocked out
right.
Seattle.
Not this.
So
year.
your argument's invalid at this
No,
point.
but we did beat them last year, so.
So there.
The most
So
recent.
there, I was 50% correct.
But this is that wasn't Laney's last season. This is Laney's last
Oh,
season.
God.
Hashtag LD10.
Hi, Boris.
Legend.
Didn't realize you got back so soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Boris back to the show.
Well, what happened? I just channeled Boris there for a second, apparently.
Boris apparently is psychic and can.
Control his
He's got the
We're telepathetic.
All
We
right.
have ESPN with
All
each
right.
other.
Let's talk about the other side
Okay.
of the playoffs.
All right.
Sporting lose to Philadelphia.
Ooh.
That hurts. They have New York away this week. Who's fourth in the East?
Kansas City.
They're going to end fourth?
They're gonna end fourth. I'm sorry, Brandon.
Doesn't bother me.
Like I feel
I'm watching their CCL run more than I'm watching the
I
regular
bet.
season right now.
I don't blame you.
With the ridiculous Mexican teams that got
We'll
knocked
talk
out.
about that in a second.
Sorry, this is a big one. This is a big CCL
We're
for MLS
talking about
teams.
the East right now.
Sporting's in the East.
I know, but we're not talking about CCL. All right, no, we'll get to that. That's actually the next topic. I do want to talk about CCL because there is a big thing about that. But for right now, you see Sporting as fourth in the East.
Yes.
You see New York beating Sporting.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
But the run that
If Bradley Wright Phillips can play at his best, I'll agree with you.
Mhm. But
But if he's playing like he has
where's
been,
it at?
absolutely nothing happens.
It is,
If it's at New York, Kansas City wins.
I believe it's in New York.
If it's at Kansas City,
The away team's going to win.
away team's gonna win.
No matter who it is, the away team.
well, no Julial on the back line. Right?
It is in
But he just got
Sporting.
fined. I don't
It's
think
in
he
Sporting.
got a red card.
Red Bulls win.
Sporting hasn't been amazing at home recently.
No, not this year.
No.
I've been a little disappointed in Sporting
Well,
this year.
So has their owner Rob Heineman.
And I honestly think, though, and the other thing, I think Kansas City
He's
is going
mentioned
to
it.
look more at CCL getting in than making this playoff. Because I think they already realize we've lost too many players to make a deep run in the playoffs. Let's make CCL. We can rebuild in the offseason.
They can't make CCL unless they win MLS Cup.
No. I mean, in the current one.
okay.
Yeah.
Which
We're talking
brings
CCL
us,
now.
Which brings us to CCL. It actually does. And Brandon, I do want you to take this. Just give me the implications of what's happening in CCL right now and why this is important.
So
for the
right
MLS.
now, for the first time in a while, an MLS team is holding top seed going into the elimination stages. That would be DC United, the only team with 12 points, straight 4 wins out of their group stage.
Worst to first.
Right?
Yeah,
Crazy.
I'm
We
talking
talked
MLS.
about that.
That was crazy.
Now-
Anyway, sorry, cut you off.
No worries. The big news here is that 2 Mexican giants have effectively been knocked out of the tournament. One of them is hilarious. One of them is tragic because they're not usually in CCL. Leon got knocked out yesterday. Officially, they weren't going to get in anyway, no matter what.
Yeah.
And the surprise is little Costa Rican club Alajuelense knocked out Cruz Azul.
Wow.
Yo.
Peace out, Cruz Azul.
Did you see the
Peace
fight
out.
after that game?
Nope.
There was a fight after that game. It was great.
Nephi switched from soccer to UFC real quick.
Oh, it was awesome. They have a picture of the Cruz Azul players going after the ref, and I can't remember the old guy's team, but are like protecting the ref. It was great.
Because it was apparently ref that bad.
It was a tie,
Oh,
and they
yeah.
got eliminated because of that. And it's a small team.
Yeah.
They should have.
Look at my
Sorry,
face.
bro.
This is how I feel about it.
You didn't care.
So that
The
does
great
bring a lot
MLS
of
player has
implications
been
in.
eliminated.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There's a
Remaining-
lot there.
Remaining
that-
Mexican teams are Pachuca, who played great until
Mhm.
just yesterday, where they got, despite the scoreline, they got pretty well dominated by Real España from Little Panama. And Club America, they're still in.
Yep.
Club America is going to be a great team to have, a hard team to have to go against. They're going to be a high-seeded team. I believe, if I remember correctly, they're most likely second unless and this is hilarious, Sporting KC win against Herediano today, 12-0.
Wow. That's a goal difference they'll have to make up?
Yeah. That would be the goal difference they'd have to make up.
Yeah.
They would be level on points with a win no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to make up the goal difference, because Club America was playing some notoriously bad teams, they have a ridiculous goal difference.
Wow. Is that game kicked off yet?
Game starts at 8.
Game starts at 8 o'clock. And
like
right now, Leon, that is current.
But that's not CCL.
Right. And no, it
Leon, I think, is playing today.
They are. Then that is CCL.
Oh.
It's given me that.
Mhm.
Against Isidro.
Isidro Metapan.
Yeah, there you go. I can't say words.
I actually thought that was Euro.
Metapan hasn't scored a game, hasn't won a game yet.
I like how
CCL.
Saprissa is basically Stanford.
Yeah.
Oh, did I say Herediano earlier?
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, now I feel silly
You do.
because Saprissa is Saborio's original team.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Saborio.
It's going to be a good game either way.
It is.
The best part, honestly, the best real scenario for Sporting KC and CCL is if they only win by 2. Because if they win by 2, they play Montreal in the quarterfinals.
Yep.
If they win by more than 2, they play Pachuca in the quarterfinals. Do you really want to have to face a Mexican team right away in the quarterfinals before you have some time to get some game time under your belt? Remember when the elimination stages start.
Yep.
It's early next MLS season. We are none of the MLS teams are in form.
No.
We're all Mexican teams are in the middle of their season.
Yep.
Yeah.
We need, as MLS teams, we need to play each other in the quarterfinals and play Mexican teams in the semifinals or later.
I'll give you that, but there's also, and not going into the super deep specifics here, there is a big chance with the way this works out that there are all MLS teams on one side and all Mexican teams on the other side. So it will be the second time ever that MLS.
That would be amazing. I don't care who it is. I really don't.
I don't either.
I have friends, obviously, as a sports team fan, but
And it'd be really hard to say that. The best thing I also think about this is if we get all 4 in, we have a big flux coming in between now and when that starts with all the changes going to be happening.
Hopefully a new salary cap.
Yes.
You know,
so this really, if all 4 make it, could be our best chance if the salary cap goes up to have our strongest teams ever in CCL.
Yep.
And like we got in the argument with the comments, if MLS finally wins CCL, we can start bragging about being a good league.
Let's not get too deep into that.
I'm agreeing with him.
And that's it. And
I don't want to get too deep into that, though, because that is going to bring up a whole other demon, and we are just about out of time here. I've got one other thing I really, really want to talk about, and that is little old DC United.
Worst to first.
Let's talk about the story of DC United. Last year, DC United was the worst team in the MLS, yet won the Open Cup.
Yes.
They beat RSL at home. So here, RSL at home for the Open Cup. RSL beaten DC United even one time last year. They would have either won the Open Cup or Supporter Shield.
They would have been in CCL no matter what if they would have
been
just
in CCL.
won one more
One
game.
of the 2 games they played against DC United, and they lost both. And yet, DC United was literally the worst team in the MLS. Let's fast forward to this year. DC United is now the number 1 team in the East. They have clinched the number 1 team in the East spot, which completes the biggest
and top
single
seed in CCL quarterfinals.
The biggest single season turnaround in MLS history.
I'm glad DC won last year.
I'm glad for that.
And the reason why, as an RSL fan, one, we lost Kassar. I don't think we would have had a
Lost
we
Christ.
got Kassar.
Yeah, we got Kassar. We lost Christ. I don't think we would have had a good showing. And them winning Open Cup gave they get a salary boost, don't they? Correct. So
they get allocation money.
Good.
And I think that really gave DC's FO like, okay, guys, we have something to play for next year that no one else does. And they just went out and made the best moves I've ever seen in an offseason.
If I look at last year, my preference would have been Real Salt Lake beating DC in the regular season game and DC winning in the Open Cup.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Because then we would have Supporter Shield, and then I could surf on it or something.
It would be I would be very happy if RSL and Sporting were in Champions League at the same time. That'd be just fantastic.
All right,
that's the day I take a big
nice. Good job, DC front office, for all the changes you guys made.
Now just get a new stadium.
Please.
It's falling apart.
Yeah.
Everyone wants you to do this.
All right, let's wrap this up. It's everyone's favorite time of the show.
Orlando broke ground. Hold on. Orlando broke ground on their new team. I feel like we should mention it.
It was a party. Yeah.
It was a party. Thank you for mentioning that.
All right.
That's everyone's favorite part of the show. It's prediction time. Okay. Nephi, Chicago, Houston.
I think you gave it to Chicago.
Okay.
Yes, Brandon, we know.
Yeah, I know.
Why?
Hardest game out of all of them? Seattle, LA.
Seattle.
Okay. Montreal to
If it's Montreal, that'd be nice, but I gave it to DC.
DC's going to win that. Well, wait. Montreal's at home. We won't get too deep in that, but we talked about that last week. Montreal's been really good at home.
Conference call.
I think we talked about it on the show. No, we didn't have a conference call.
But
we talked about it last
conference
week.
call at the pub, yeah.
All right. New England, Toronto.
New England.
Dallas, Portland.
I want Portland to win.
We gave it to Portland. Everyone gave it to Portland.
We all gave it to Portland, but I mean, Dallas at home. Anyway.
Vancouver, Colorado. Give it to Colorado.
I would love to see Colorado.
I'm like cheering for the underdogs.
Win one for the giver, but I think Vancouver's going to win.
All right. Columbus, Philly.
Philly.
Okay. Chivas, San Jose.
Chivas' last game.
They have nothing else to play for.
They're all going to be jobless soon, except for Dan Kennedy. Everyone knows he's going to go have a job.
And Kubo. Yep. Kubo gets to go back.
Yeah, Kubo goes back to Guadalajara.
But they're almost about ready to get relegated.
I'm picturing Chivas beat like half of their team just becoming homeless vagrants on the streets of LA.
Oh. Okay, who wins the game? Let's not go personal.
Let's not get
San Jose wins, and Chivas goes out a loser again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sporting New York.
Time.
Sporting New York.
In Kansas City?
In Sporting.
Mm-hmm.
Sporting.
Okay.
In New York, I would have given it to New York.
Mm-hmm. And Nephi's giving it to the away team.
Yeah.
We got our bases covered together.
Perfect.
I give it a draw.
So there you go.
I give it a draw. So everybody happy.
Everybody's happy. All right. Thank you all so much for joining us. If you did, we love having you here. Again, we do this for you and for our own entertainment. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Remember to join us on Facebook at facebook.com/passively-offside, on Twitter at passively_off. I still did it, even though you didn't see it. Splenda was late. Email us at passively-offside@gmail.com. Check out some of our stuff on passively-offside.blogspot.com. I like that you're doing stuff with the cameras not on you.
Yeah, because now people can't see.
What are you trying to do? You're trying to do a G.
Yeah.
That's close enough.
Gmail.
Yeah, I'll take it.
No, all right.
Yeah.
That's all the things that I needed to say. So again, thank you so much for joining us. It was great to have you. We had fun. You had fun. I know you had fun. I know you did.
I had fun.
How could you not have fun?
How could you not have fun?
We have fun here.
Wait, can we do one more thing?
I guess.
Can we do one more thing?
I guess.
we
It's
can.
coming up right now.
Hashtag Favorite Watch 2014.
Favorite Watch 2014.
Okay, so I'm the closest with Brandon right now.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be about the same as last time.
Yeah, because I shave Sunday nights whether I need it or
So
not.
shut up. It doesn't look like it's able to grow anymore.
You smell weird.
Got a purty mouth.
And on that bombshell, we're going to end. For the Pass the Offside team, I'm Jeremy Clarkson. Have a good night.